How we doing today? Hopefully you guys traded well today. I didn't trade as well as I could have and know I should be. It's been a rough little week or so, like Thanksgiving week. Just kind of feels chopped up a little bit and trying to get back into get back my confidence, get back my rhythm of trading. Today was kind of a mess. Nothing crazy. I didn't do anything insane, right? Where I just completely broke rules, but I just kind of got tripped up a little bit in today's price action when I had a pretty good understanding of what I wanted to see. Coming into the day, I want to see us reach these highs and then the all-time highs up here, just because this just looks super bullish, right? Got to go with the trend. The trend is bullish, right? So why would I be looking to short this? There's nothing bearish about this yet. Obviously, that can change. But I was looking at this 4-hour gap right here. I have marked out this big 4-hour imbalance, and I wanted to see price trade into it and get a reaction. So what did we do? We got that pretty early off open. We actually maybe got it, pre-market. So if you see here, right, this 9:15, we trade up, we come back down, we tap into the 4-hour at market open, 9:30, literally right at market open. We had an SMT here, and we can start getting some displacement higher. So at this point, we started getting displacement higher, and I wanted to see what would happen in this 5-minute imbalance right here. I wanted to see if we would respect this and go lower or inverse it. And I knew if we were able to inverse that gap, then we would probably seek higher, this high, and then yesterday's high, previous day's high was my targets. So the first trade I took was just a little bit early. I ended up getting in on this candle here, and as you can see, it didn't really close. I really liked the price structure. We swept out the low, we had the SMT, we got almost the inverse. And that's why I'll pull up that first trade. And this just kind of set the tone for a bad day. Getting in early, and then I'll kind of go over the mistakes I made here. That's not it. That was 3 seconds. Okay, right here should be it. But yeah, just pretty frustrated with myself today. It just seems like I'm a little bit off. I haven't really executed a good trade in a while. And that's just kind of part of it. So here we go. We got in. I get in like a little bit early because it closed. It didn't close fully, but I told myself that was fine. And really looking back, it probably would have been fine if I just left my stop underneath this order block and let things play out, because we actually did get this 3-minute inversion. Let's see if I pull up the 3-minute chart. This is the 5-minute. I don't know if I ever turn up the 3-minute. But my mistake really was just getting emotional with my stop loss, right? The 15-minute was not closed yet, and I kind of just get a little emotional with my stop loss, and when it starts running down, I just go, oh, we're going to lose, and I end up closing the trade there, and as you can see, it starts running, and I end up getting back in right after that, which again isn't good. That's definitely a mistake, but obviously I show you guys exactly what I'm doing. And this was just completely dumb. Got in right after, and was just slightly, I wasn't over leveraged per se, because my risk wasn't more than my 200 that I try and risk, but I was definitely just trying to make back some money just because it ripped up literally as soon as I closed the trade early, right? It didn't even hit my stop loss, and I closed the trade. So I'll kind of just speed through what happens here because this trade's just pretty relevant. We end up just going to break even as quick as possible because we knew news was coming out at 10, and also it was just a bad entry, right? This is just a mistake that I've done before. Can't have happen, but again, I show you guys what I've done, what I do, and I keep it just 100%, man. There's no reason for me to try and change up what I did, and even though it's annoying and I shouldn't have done it, and I know better, right? It's the same trade. I know better than that, but that's reality. Sometimes you do the wrong thing. And at this point, I kind of was just like, okay, News is coming out at 10. The only reason I was so skeptical about the trade is just because news at 10, right? We had the JOLTS, the job openings. So we ended up closing above the fair value gap here. And if I were to have just gotten in on this entry right here, get in there, stop below this low here, this order block, and then target, my first target, 30 points, would have been a 1-to-1, and then leave runners. The runners would have been stopped at break even, but that is fine. This trade actually would end up playing out. It would have taken a while, and I end up getting the 15-minute 15-minute trade here. So I'm down like $50 at this point, and I end up getting the entry here on the 15-minute. I was like, okay, let's just see. If news rips down, I won't get in, but it didn't really rip anywhere. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm fine getting in here. And it starts running, honestly, decently well. My first take profit was the new week gap, and it got really close, and that would have put me even on the day, and then I get stopped at break even here, which frustrated me. It really did. It just really frustrated me because it got so close, and then stopped me out at break even. And I was really upset, right? I was really upset because, right, you just hate to see that happen live time. And yeah, just hate to see that live time. It just upsets you. And I ended up just taking a what's it called? This 30-second inversion, kind of scalped to the new week high right after. This is literally right after. And then that ended up bringing me even on the day. And the runner gets stopped at break even. And yeah, so just bad trading, combination of bad trading there. But then I was like, okay, cool, because I was even on the day now. I was like, okay, what did I do here? This is just not really good trading. We need to just kind of calm down, and gonna just lock my account for now, just in case, right? But so we fail, we go up here, we start coming down, and then I noticed this 5-minute fair value gap right here. And I was like, okay, I actually like this because we were respecting, at the time, I guess we didn't really fully hold it, but we were in this 15-minute fair value gap. And if you notice the inversion from earlier, right here, we were holding this 5-minute inversion still all the way down here. So when we got bought up, I went long off this inversion. Looking back, it did not work. I ended up taking a $100 loss. Why do I think it didn't work? Well, honestly, I think it's just because we were building more liquidity, right? We were just building more low resistance liquidity, which is where my last trade ended up working, is just because we just were running and building, generating liquidity. And we didn't really sweep any lows, and we didn't really bounce out at any fair value gap. So it kind of was just not the best trade ever, but I don't think it was the end of the world taking that setup. We then come back down, we sweep this low, and this is where I made just another mistake, right? We bounce off the order block again. And at this point on MNQ, on MNQ we actually close above the fair value gap. On the micro chart we do not. As you can see, this same fair value gap we don't close above. So that was frustrating because I should have gotten in there. And yeah, I could have gotten in there at this high even. I could have gone break even, and it would have never tested me. And I'll pull up the replay of what I did right here. I got into that position. Oh, this was the trade before that I lost on. Right, we ended up losing 113 or something, 112. This was just frustrating because, yeah, it's just frustrating to get into a trade and just dump against you. But now we'll go to the trade that I took right here. So we ended up getting in where I was talking about because this inverse looked good. I thought we had a lot of low resistance liquidity to run. And yeah, I mean, I could have even just held for this high and made more money than I made anyways today, but I was just going to break even super early just because I was I don't know. Whenever I take a loss, I start letting that affect my trading too much. I start doing dumb stuff. And yeah, it's just a mistake that I keep making. That's going to be roughly the title of the video, is just making the same mistakes, or just, you know, I don't know what's going to be. Something like that. Some type of mistake, some type of whatever. Not trading well, man. Not trading well. I think I'm a little bit lower on confidence for some reason. I don't really know why. I haven't really been doing that bad. I think it's just about the account balance. I think the account balance has me a little bit more cautious, a little bit more, don't lose, a little more, protective, because, I'm at a account balance to where it's like, I don't want to drop from where I'm at. So it's definitely, I think that's where my trading's gone worse. I think obviously when I'm just trading demo, I wouldn't make any mistakes. All the trades today I would have taken would have worked out well, because I wouldn't have any emotion holding them, because I'd be on demo. So, yeah, so I think that's been a little bit tough. I also just go to break even early on this trade, like literally for no reason. Like, why was I already at break even? Who knows? And it never goes back down again. So if I would have just waited for it to hit that break even spot, or just some distance above it, I gotta sneeze. Dang. If I would have just waited for it to hit the break even point, we'll see. Watch, it never comes back down. So boom, it would have ripped through the break even there. I would be break even now. I'd be at a way better entry than what I end up getting. And yeah, things just would have worked out a lot better. So I end up getting in, and I was like, cool, I'm going to get in a little early just because we technically had the entry lower. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to mess with this thing. I'm going to let it go, hit the actual break even before I go to break even, or at least give some room, and let this thing play out. And I was like, if we inverse this, I'll add one more and let things go, right? Just let things play out. I added one right. I add one like right here when we're like kind of breaking through. I'm not sure when I add one. I'll show you guys, obviously. But I add one right here because I was like, cool, I think this thing's actually working. I think this is a good trade. I mean, me talking now, I like this trade. It's a good trade. Emotional decisions earlier behind me, all these different things, whatever. If I not ignore those things, but emotions aside, this is a good entry. This is a good trade. This has good risk, and it should work. So yes, I might have made mistakes earlier in the day, but I still got a good entry on this. I would have had a better entry, right? I would have a way better entry. But I was just being too emotional about the account balance and all that. It's something that, again, it's just a trust the process thing. It's just a exposure and experience thing. I'm gonna have to just expose myself to it over and over and over and learn, right? I'm just gonna have to learn from it. I'm gonna have to learn from, the struggling days, and then just I'm just gonna have to learn from it, man. That's just all it is. At the end of the day, it's gonna just come down to being able to learn how to take losses and how to take wins, and to trust yourself. And it's just going to happen by seeing the trade play out over and over and over and over. And again, I was moving a little bit early, so I was coming down, move it back. And yeah, I mean, again, like I said, I think one of the problems is just stemming from the fact that I just feel like I'm so close to passing my account if I just gonna put together a few good days. So it's making me trade lower size. I'm not really even risking the full 200 most of my trades. I'm taking like 1-2 micros. So that's just going to make it harder when I do take good trades. I'm also just not holding as well. When I do take a loss, I'm not really making profits because I'm just trying to get back to even on the day. So I'm making a whole lot of mistakes, unfortunately, right? But that being said, I mean, I'm still learning. I'm still getting better. I'm still making improvements, right? It's never going to be the end of the world. Right. And then I'm going to kind of speed through this because I was just waiting to manage this position. I mean, this thing I really can't believe how long it stalled right here. I mean, this was just annoying. And the most annoying part is that where we do end up getting stopped out. Oh, Oh, I end up turning out the video. Unfortunately, I don't know why I did that, but where we end up getting stopped out. Let's pull up the executions. So you guys saw all those trades today. Yeah, looks a little bit crazier just because of adding contracts, but yeah, we took a little bit too many. But we got out on the last one right here. If I would have just left my stop underneath this 5-minute gap, we would never trade to it. We would have ran up, took our take profit. We would have made actual profit today. But yeah, again, I mean, I'm just, like I've said before, I'm making way too many mistakes. What happened here is we ended up taking this high. I trailed my stop literally to this low as well. So like if we just had it underneath this candle that had the fair value gap, that would have held too. I mean, I'm just making so many emotional mistakes, so many just, right? This isn't the chart. This isn't my chart reading ability. This isn't anything like that. It's straight up me making bad decisions with my stop loss, with my trades, with my exits, with my entries, right? I'm just making too many mistakes. I know you guys are tired of hearing about that, but that's how trading works. That's how you become a trader. That's how you get better at trading. I'm not going to be negative on myself. I'm not going to be disappointed in myself. I'm not going to be frustrated with myself because that's not going to help me, right? What can I do? I can learn from it. I can journal it. I can say, hey, why did I do this? Why did I do that? What was causing me to do this? And yeah, it's going to be frustrating. It's going to be annoying. It should never happen. But at the end of the day, right, what's me being negative? What's me beating myself up going to do? Trading's hard. It's not supposed to be easy. It's an emotional game. It's an emotional thing. You have to just become better and better each day, which is what I'm trying to do. So I'm not gonna sit here and let anyone bring me down by saying, you know, I'm not good or whatever, I should be doing this or that, or that I can't do this, or I'm not gonna succeed, anything like that, because I know what I can do. I know how trading works. I understand how you can get better. And I know that I'm getting better. I know that it's just going to take time. It might not take someone as long as it's going to take me, right? But that's okay because it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. As long as I can keep working on different issues, keep getting better. Yeah, I made mistakes today, right? But I'm a human. I'm learning. I'm trying to get better. I'm not going to be perfect. And that's something I need to just be okay with and accept, is that I'm not going to be perfect. I'm not going to be perfect. It's not going to be a perfect journey. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to make the same mistakes over and over. I'm not going to trust myself enough early on. So how am I going to trust myself? Well, it's going to just be by seeing it play out and out and out and out. And I'm going to be sick and tired of doing the wrong thing, getting into bad trades, getting out of good trades. And eventually it's going to, I'm going to be able to cross that line where it's just going to become clockwork. And I know people will say, just do it, just follow your rules, just do that. But I really believe that just takes time, and it just takes reps and reps and reps, right? You're not going to have confidence. Let's just say you're playing basketball or something, you're not going to have confidence to try and dribble the ball if you're newer, right? But how do you get that confidence? You do it over and over, and you might mess up. You might kind of pass it away quick or whatever. But eventually you're going to start building that confidence that you can actually make a dribble, that you can beat someone one-on-one, that you can make that shot. And that's just how trading is, right? I might not have enough confidence to perform right now, but I work on it by seeing it happen. So even though I make a mistake, I see it happen. Even though I didn't execute well here, right, I saw it happen. So it's like, I got in here and my ideas were all right. My targets were all right, were great, right? I had great targets. I had great ideas, but I just mismanaged in here out of fear, out of greed, or not even greed, out of fear, out of account balance worries, out of, confidence issues. So that's something that I can work on. I will look at this and I'll journal it and I'll write down, okay, what was my trade? What did I do wrong? What did I do right? How can I fix that in the future going forward? Why was this not good? Why was this good? Why was this trade not good, right? And you can learn from these things. So I don't need to beat myself up. I don't need to, be all concerned. And I just need to say, look, I'm learning. I'm getting better, and that's it, all right? That's it. I'll show up tomorrow. I'm going to try my best again. I'll show up tomorrow. I'm going to try my best again. And at the end of the day, this is my best, right? I'm trying my best. As long as I know I'm trying my best, as long as I'm not just coming in fully giving up, right? If I show up and I'm just giving up and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, this isn't going to work, and I just start giving up, gambling all the time, and I just stop trying. If I stop journaling, I stop trying to hold my trades, I stop trying to hold myself accountable, that's when I'll fail, right? It's not a failure when you're in the process, right? When you're trying to get better, when you're trying to learn, when you're trying to do the right thing, then that's not going to be the failure, right? The failure is when you just stop trying, when you start saying, hey, I'm not going to be able to get this, I'm not going to journal, there's no point in me journaling. When you just show up, and you show up for like 10 minutes a day and you don't really put in any work, that's giving up, right? That's not trying your hardest. So I know I'm putting in my hardest work. Obviously, I can do more. I can get better. I'm frustrated with myself. Don't get me wrong. I need to take accountability for the mistakes that I've mentioned over and over. But I know this is a process, and it's not going to happen overnight. And I make the same mistake for a reason, right? Not because it's luck or random. It's not random that I make the same mistake. It's not luck that I find good trades and mismanage them. That's not luck or random. It just has to do with what I'm doing, right? It has to do with my performance, and me making the same mistake is not random or not luck or anything like that. There's physical reasons behind the mistakes I'm making. So I just gotta sort those out, and we'll be good, man. I'm not disappointed. I'm happy with my improvement. I'm happy with getting better each day. Whether you guys think I am or not, it doesn't matter to me, because I know that I'm improving. So yeah, I appreciate all you guys that watch these videos. I'm disappointed that I can't perform better for you guys, but it's not going to stress me out. I'm not worried about that. If I start focusing on trying to perform for an audience, that's not going to help me whatsoever. So it's just about myself, trying to do better for myself. And that's what I have to motivate me, not views or, whatever. Pat on the back from random people that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I get a pat on the back from anyone else but myself. So, again, I would love to perform and put on a show for you guys, and really just make a good run at it. But that's just further down the line, I'm afraid. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. We're gonna keep focusing, keep journaling, keep trying to get better, and yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. And this is just the reality. Sometimes it's a slow process with trading. Some days are slow, some days are down, some days are up, but in the long run, it'll pay off. So I know that, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.